بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أولا كل عام وأنتم بخير. وهذه مبادرة أطلقها معالي مدير الجامعة منذ أشهر بالاستفادة من وجود نخبة من العلماء المسلمين في مكة المكرمة لأداء فريضة الحج. ضيفنا اليوم هو الدكتور زيني أوجانغ، هو مدير جامعة ماليزيا للتقنية أو University Technology ماليزيا، وهي هذه الجامعة هي أقدم جامعة تقنية في ماليزيا وأيضا على مستوى شرق آسيا، وهو أستاذ زائر بمعهد ماساتشوستس للتقنية أو ما يسمى بالMIT بالولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، وحصل على البكالوريوس في الهندسة الكيميائية من جامعة ماليزيا للتقنية، وماجستير ودكتوراه في الهندسة البيئية من جامعة نيوكاسل بالمملكة المتحدة، وهو أيضا من خريجي كلية إدارة الأعمال في جامعة هارفارد، وهو زميل في الأكاديمية الماليزية للعلوم وكبير مستشاري كرسي الأمير خالد بن سلطان لبحوث المياه بجامعة الملك سعود، ورئيس مجلس الجودة البيئية بماليزيا، وزميل معهد المهندسين الكيميائيين بالمملكة المتحدة، إضافة أن له أكثر من 20 حقوق ملكية فكرية مسجلة من براءات اختراع وغيرها، وأيضا نشر له أكثر من 250 ورقة علمية و27 كتاب. اليوم سيحدثنا عن تجربتهم في جامعة ماليزيا للتقنية، وهو مؤلف لكتاب يسمى The New Academia أو الأكاديمية الجديدة أو التوجه الجديد في الحياة الأكاديمية، بالإضافة إلى المهام الأساسية المعروفة في دور الجامعات، ولهم تجربة فريدة في هذه الجامعة. فالآن نبدأ إن شاء الله اللقاء. معالي الدكتور يعني في الطريق إن شاء الله سيشاركنا هذا اللقاء. سنبدأ إن شاء الله لارتباطه يعني كمان بذهاب إلى المدينة المنورة بعد المحاضرة مباشرة. أنا سأترجم اجتهادا، فسامحوني إذا كان في أي أخطاء، فليست لدي خبرة بالترجمة الفورية. إن شاء الله حيكون في ترجمة، لأنه في حضور طلب إنه يكون في ترجمة باللغة العربية بعد كل يعني شريحة من العرض. I will do the translation إن شاء الله briefly يعني to save your time. وبعدين إن شاء الله حنفتح الباب للنقاش يعني والأسئلة للاستفادة من تجربتهم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear brothers, I would like to congratulate and to thank Dr. Nabil for taking his time to entertain me while staying in Mecca. And this is a very interesting day in my life. This is my first time giving lecture in Mecca al-Mukarramah. So that's a big thing.
وطبعا هو فخور بوجوده معنا اليوم في مكة المكرمة، وهذا إضافة له أنه في هذه المرة يؤدي فريضة الحج، وأيضا يعني يقوم بدور آخر في دعم طلب العلم وفي مكة المكرمة.
Inshallah. So what I'm going to talk today, there are three parts of my presentations. I'm going to be very brief. First, to introduce why I'm here about my organization a bit, and then I'm going to talk about New Academia. This is the topic I've read. I wrote a book about it, and then we can discuss about the soul of higher education, just to indicate the importance of New Academia.
تمام. طبعا هو حيعطي مقدمة لما هو الهدف من هذا العرض ووجوده معنا اليوم، وأيضا عن توجه جديد ما يسمى بنيو أكاديميا وتجربتهم في جامعة University Technology ماليزيا، وأيضا هو له مسمى كده يسمى روح التعليم العالي.
Yeah. First of all, if you look into my name, it's a very long abbreviation. We call it title in Malaysia. I'm an engineer, so that I have IR title. In Malaysia, Chartered Engineer, Professional Engineer will be easily noticed because they have IR in between. Dato is something that conferred to me by the king. So this is only, I cannot apply for it. There is no exam for it. And the king give you. And I've got 2 Datuk so far. By profession, I was a chemical engineer by training. But what is also important, throughout my career as academic administrator, I found that we have to find a niche. What is a niche in Arabic? Specialization, niche. What we want to bring forward to academia. And therefore, if you go to Malaysia, you ask people around about innovation, probably people will single out one of the person to be referred to as Zaini Ujang because of my advocacy work on innovation. So we are not only involved in developing a policy on innovation for the country, but also there are a lot of other partnerships that single out our initiative on innovation.
هو طبعا في درجة أستاذ، وأيضا له لقب داتوغ، وهذا يمنح من الملك في ماليزيا. فهو أستاذ دكتور، وأيضا هو مهندس كيميائي ومتخصص في هندسة البيئة أو ما يسمى Environmental Engineering. ثم انتقل طبعا إلى أن يكون في مناصب إدارية في التعليم العالي في ماليزيا، وأيضا خبرته في البحث العلمي، وأيضا خبرته في أن يكون داعم ومحفز لموضوع الابتكار، وهو ساهم في رسم السياسة الوطنية للابتكار على مستوى ماليزيا.
Yeah. Okay. I came to this job about 4 years ago, more than 4 years ago, as president of the university. So I was given this task. We have interview session. There are 3 candidates to be appointed by the government of Malaysia. So, and we were asked to answer this question: how to transform UTM from undergraduate, local-centric to graduate and global-centric. So how can we make UTM more advanced? And I was given only 5 years to think about it. So at that time, this is the situation of UTM. We had only about 700 staff, academic staff at the moment. This is our publication, was not very good. And our postgraduate, graduate student at master's and PhD, only 25%. Yeah? And spin-off companies is only 1. So I was asked, how can you transform this? And arbitrarily, on my own, I put this number. I said that if we give me 12 years, this is what we are trying to do. Try to show that we want to jump, we want to leapfrog, we want to improve. And this will make UTM a graduate and global-centric university. And because of that, I wrote this book, The New Academia, and that's what I'm here today.
تمام. هو طبعا يعني كان منصب مدير جامعة من 2008 إلى طبعا سيظل مدير الجامعة حسب إلى 2013. وكانت مهمته الرئيسية هو التحول في الجامعة من جامعة فقط تركز على دراسات اللي هي البكالوريوس إلى الدراسات العليا، وأيضا من تحويلها إلى جامعة تخدم البيئة المحلية إلى جامعة عالمية تركز أيضا على الدراسات العليا والبحث العلمي. وهذه كانت لما عين هو مديرا للجامعة كانت هذه الإحصائيات لوضع الجامعة في البحث العلمي، وأيضا في عدد أعضاء التدريس، وأيضا في عدد الشركات الوليدة من الجامعة، وأيضا عدد البراءات الاختراع والابتكارات. ولتحقيق هذه المهمة حتى وصل في عام 2010 هناك الفرق بين أعداد التدريس، الزيادة المضطردة، الأبحاث المنشورة، الشركات الوليدة من الجامعة من الابتكار، وبراءات الاختراع والأبحاث. فواضح الفرق الكبير الذي أحدثه في الجامعة. طبعا ذكر هو أنه في فريق متكامل في الجامعة عمل معه بروح الفريق، وألف هذا الكتاب لرصد تجربته في نقل الجامعة وتحولها من هذه المرحلة إلى المرحلة المتقدمة في 2010.
And after 3 years, this was last year, so we jump a bit, yeah. Say for example on publication, and we add new parameters. Say for example, PhD graduate on time, postdoctoral fellows. This is all new to us, and you can see that the number are increasing. Postgraduate increased from 25% to 46% within 3 years, yeah. And then, alhamdulillah, and this is our new number for this year. So we managed to cross the line of 50%. So it became 50. Do you have a pointer so that I can show?
Laser pointer.
Yeah. I can, yeah. This one, yeah. You get 53%. From 25%, this is within 4 years, yeah. And we want to settle at a certain level. The number of PhD students from 1,200, this year we are about 4,400 PhD students, yeah? PhD students, candidates. And in the past, graduate on time is not important for us, but we think it is very important. We want student graduate PhD not 20 years, not 10 years, but within 3 years or 3.5 years. So that is an indication why a lot of students coming to UTM to do PhD. And we want to develop this university as a postdoctoral place for doing research. And you can see that mean intake for undergraduate increased from 3.11 to 3.71. It means that all students coming to UTM must be grade A students. All of subjects must be A in order to do that. Yeah? So this is what we are trying to do. We managed, inshallah, this year to get about 100. And this is what we are trying to do. So these numbers is for managers like me, vice rector, for deans to look at. But I'm thinking, is that education all about? Is that new academia we are talking about? Numbers are important as indicator, but we must go beyond numbers.
طبعا هم طوروا معايير لقياس أداء الجامعة تساعد الجامعة لتقييم أدائها سنويا، من ضمنها أعضاء عدد مثلا برامج عدد خريجي الدكتوراه وطلاب الدكتوراه والدراسات العليا كان 4000 وبعدين انتقل إلى 12000 طالب في خلال ال4 سنوات. وأيضا معايير أخرى لها علاقة بالأبحاث المنشورة، وطبعا مؤشر ISI للبحث العلمي أو سكوبس، وعدد الأبحاث المنشورة في هذه الأدوات قياس الأبحاث ذات التأثير الأعلى. وأيضا الشركات الوليدة كانت شركة واحدة في خلال 4 سنوات صارت 100 شركة وليدة من الجامعة بناء على ابتكارات في الجامعة. وأيضا أعضاء الباحثين أو ما يسمى الفريق البحثي أيضا زاد أكثر من 55%. طبعا هذه بعض المؤشرات. هو ذكر أن الأرقام لوحدها لا تكفي لقياس ما يحدث في الجامعة، لكن هي تعطي بعض المؤشرات لما يحدث في الجامعة سواء في البحث العلمي أو الإبداع المعرفي أو أيضا التدريس والحياة الأكاديمية. هو يعني بيقول إنه في عوامل أخرى أو معايير أخرى يجب أن نراعيها وما يتعلق بروح التعليم العالي والمخرجات التعليم العالي. تفضل.
Okay, this is something that normally president of university will announce when they meet people, yeah. But I want to go beyond this. I want to go beyond this, and this is very important. Early this year, I was invited to attend a program at Harvard University, and I was the only president of university outside the United States invited to attend this program. And during that program, we discussed about many things. Yeah? We discussed about many things, and one of them is how can we redo, refine, and review learning and teaching. Okay.
تمام. طبعا هناك مبادرة في جامعة هارفارد، وهو يعني دعي للمشاركة في هذه المبادرة فيما يتعلق بالتعلم والتعليم، وكيف يمكن أن يتم تطوير مفاهيم التعليم والتعلم.
Yep. And we listened to President Drew Force, the president of Harvard University, and very prominent professor called by the name of Clay Christensen, and then Nobel laureate Carl Wieman, and we discussed about new academia. And when I wrote the book a year ago, more than 1 year ago, New Academia, the word New Academia was not introduced yet. And they were happy receiving my book, and they said, this is what they are thinking about, this is what we must do to go beyond the traditional, conventional academia.
طبعا هم يعني هذه المبادرة اللي كانت في هارفارد بناء على ما قرأوه في كتابه في التحول في التعليم والتعلم، وعندما طلعوا الكتاب يعني ذكروا له أنه هذا ما كنا نبحث عنه في الرؤية الجديدة أو المنهجية الجديدة للتعليم والتعلم، وذلك كان هذه أحد يعني المبادرات اللي في هارفارد اللي لفتت انتباههم لما يحدث في جامعة University of Technology Malaysia.
And one of my close friend, he came to he is dean from Harvard University. He came to Malaysia the following month, talking about learning, and we were talking about memorization or understanding in education. So this is one way for us to understand what higher education is all about. I'm not talking about fundamental, at fundamental level, primary level, where you have to understand, you have to memorize Quran and whatnot. I also send all my children to Quranic classes. They are memorizing Quran, whatever. But at higher level, we must go beyond memorization.
طبعا بروفيسور إريك برضو كان له يعني محاضرة في هذا الموضوع، يعني التعليم ما بين الحفظ أو memorization والفهم. هو طبعا هو يقول أنا أتكلم هنا عن المفاهيم الأساسية في أنه الحفظ مهم مثل حفظ القرآن الكريم، لكن بيتكلم أنه عملية طريقة التلقين والحفظ اللي أحيانا تذهب الفهم، فمهم التوازن وأنه يكون في فكان هذه من المحاضرات اللي مهمة في هذه المبادرة من جامعة هارفارد.
Okay, briefly, UTM started in 1904 as Treasure Technical School in Malaysia, and then we became university in 1975 as name. Ahlan wa sahlan. Salam. So we started in 1904 again, and then we became university. So you can see that our university, the center is a mosque.
طبعا الجامعة عمرها أكثر من قرن، يعني بدأت في عام 1904 وتطورت طبعا عبر السنوات حتى يعني كانت بداية المبنى اليسار الأعلى، ثم أصبح يعني مدينة جامعية متكاملة.
And if you go to Kuala Lumpur, we have two campuses, one in Kuala Lumpur, one in Johor Bahru. Kuala Lumpur is about 2 kilometer radius from Twin Tower. We have 80 hectares land. And in Johor Bahru, very close to Singapore, which is about 1 hour. So if you go to 2 places, 2 cities, so please visit us, I'll be around. Yeah, my office is level 17. Yeah, yeah.
طبعا المبنى الرئيسي يبعد عن ما يسمى بتوين تاورز في كوالالمبور 2 كيلومتر، وفي فرع للجامعة قريب من الحدود على سنغافورة.
Yeah. And this is the schools that we have. We are mainly 70% of our schools are science and technology. We have science, electrical engineering, civil. We just started Malaysia-Japan International Institute of Technology. This is the first university co-sponsored by Malaysian and Japanese university, and this is big project for us. It's about 280 million USD projects. And this campus, this university, this is the building of that university, that institute. Yeah, this one. Mm-hmm. So, and we have about, inshallah, 50 Japanese professors there teaching, and this is mainly postgraduate programs.
طبعا هذه الكليات الجامعة متخصصة في العلوم والتقنية. هناك كليات مختلفة في المجال الهندسة والعلوم، وأيضا هناك شراكة مع اليابان في يعني ميزانيات ضخمة لعمل برامج مشتركة بين الجامعات اليابانية وجامعة University Technology Malaysia.
Yeah. And this year we start our DBA. Our business school, GS is graduate school. Business school has about 720 MBA students, and we started with DBA this year. So, and then we are the only university in that region that offering nuclear engineering programs. So in the whole Southeast Asia, it's only UTM offering nuclear engineering. Yeah? And we are going to start a new program with Oxford, UTM Applied Mathematics, and then with MIT on Blossom program, and with Imperial on Energy Future. And we are also going to start Cardiovascular Engineering Center with Aachen University from Germany. Yeah.
طبعا هنا من أشهر المعاهد الآن معهد الدولي للتكنولوجيا، هذا بالشراكة المعهد الماليزي الياباني، وأيضا هناك شراكة مع إمبريال كوليدج، مع أكسفورد، مع MIT لتأسيس مراكز بحثية. وهو ذكر لي قبل اللقاء أن أول مركز بحثي يحمل جامعة أكسفورد خارج إطار جامعة أكسفورد هو الآن في جامعة University Technology Malaysia.
Okay, and then on top of that we have Research Alliance. I was the Vice President of Research and Innovation, so I know the importance of this. In the past, only 2 or 3 deans reporting to me, and I was powerless to mobilize research in university. But when I became president, I made extra 10 deans of research. So on top of research dean, research management dean, and innovation dean, I have dean of K economy research, dean of Infocom research and transportation. These are people around me. So whenever I want transportation, I just call the dean. Let's work on this with Umul Qura University, say for example, so they come out with everything. So every professors and faculty members of UTM, they must belong to 2. One is to the schools, the other one is the research programs. So they must be in this. So there will be 2 people that going to giving them assessment, annual appraisal every year, one from research, one from teaching. So they have to balance up between these 2.
تمام. طبعا احنا في حضور معالي مدير الجامعة والدكتور هاني، هو كان يشغل منصب وكيل الجامعة للبحث العلمي والابتكار قبل تعيينه مديرا للجامعة. فمن الاشياء اللي يعني واجهها انه عمداء الكليات مرجعيتهم لمعالي مدير الجامعة، فبيقول انا ما اعرف كيف احرك البحث العلمي في الجامعة، فانشأ عمادات او عمداء متخصصين في البحث العلمي. الميزة أنهم هم يشجعوا البحث التكاملي ما بين الكليات في التخصصات المختلفة، وأيضا مرجعيتهم له كوكيل البحث العلمي والابتكار. وفي التقييم في الترقيات يجب لا يكتفى بتقارير اللي تكون من العميد الكلية المسؤول عن التدريس فقط أو البحث العلمي أيضا، بالإضافة إلى العمداء البحث العلمي. فهناك مرجعيتين للتقييم في الترقيات من التدريس وأيضا من البحث العلمي، وخلق هذا الجو روح المنافسة أيضا في البحث العلمي داخل الجامعة بين الكليات وبين الباحثين في التخصصات المختلفة والمتنوعة.
Yeah, because this is very important. In order to have new academia, you have to have two separate things. One is the academic discipline. The other one is the area that you want to work with. Say, for example, energy consists of people from electrical engineering, from chemical engineering, from petroleum engineering, from photonics group, from oceanography, and many solar energy. So if you rely on all academia, you will be based energy in electrical engineering, and you miss the chance to get biomass energy. You miss the chance to get, say, for example, energy from solar, energy from thermal, ocean thermography, and many other things. Yeah.
طبعا وجود هذه المعاهد أو المراكز البحثية المتخصصة ساعدت التواصل بين أعضاء التدريس في المجالات المختلفة في الكليات المختلفة، إنه يعني يعملوا يعني مع بعض في مشاريع بحثية تتطلب وجود متخصصين من تخصصات يعني مختلفة لم تتاح لهم الفرصة أيضا للتواصل والعمل معا لاعتبار التخصص يحكم أنه يدرس في مجالات تخصصية محددة. لكن البحث العلمي والمراكز البحثية والمعاهد التي أسست في الجامعة ساعدت في خلق فرص للتواصل بين التخصصات المختلفة في البحث العلمي والابتكار.
Okay, since Dr. Nabil is from architecture school, so this is by graduatearchitecture.com, specific for him. This is the top best architecture university in Asia. The top 3 from Tokyo, from Hong Kong, from Tokyo again, and number 6 is UTM. Yeah, so number 10 is Israel.
تمام. طبعا صنفت كلية العمارة في الجامعة I wasn't aware of that by the way يعني أول مرة أعرف المعلومة هذه إنها من أحسن 10 جامعات متخصصة في مجال العمارة ما بين جامعات عريقة مثل جامعة طوكيو على مستوى آسيا. نعم.
Briefly, I discussed quite a lot with many people. In academia, there are 2 things. If you want to do innovation, it's good to do it when it is small scale. You go to top university in the world, they are not big university. Say, for example, MIT, they have only about 10,000 students. Harvard, they have only about 18,000 students, 1/8 student. Yeah. You go to Cambridge, they have around 20,000 students. Yeah. So we in Malaysia debate a lot what is the good size of university. So for me and for my university, we want to rest at 20 to 22,000 students. In the past, we had 30,000 students. But this is history about UTM. You can follow us if you like. Otherwise, this is historical data. 1984, we start our master's program, only 2 students. And then 2009, you can see that the number of students increased. And then this is what we are trying to do, yeah? 22,000 students in between. And this is our PhD student, 4,400 at the moment. And we think that all good research, global-centric university, they must have very powerful PhD program, because PhD program that bring the reputation of the university. So, and you can ask me, what is your standard and what not, we can discuss about that. Yeah. So I keep on saying that.
طبعا هو من ملاحظاته واطلاعه على الجامعات في العالم ذكر هو هارفارد 18,000 طالب، MIT أظن 8,000 طالب، إنه هناك علاقة بين عدد الطلاب وأيضا جودة مخرجات التعليم في الجامعات. هو طبعا أخذوا قرار في الجامعة عندهم إنه لا يتعدوا 20,000 طالب شاملا طلاب البكالوريوس 8,000، وهذا الهدف اللي حاطينه ل 2020. وأيضا 14,000 من طلاب الدراسات العليا. طبعا هم توجههم أن يكون الدراسات العليا عددها أكبر من البكالوريوس.
Yeah, and then we try to make sure that the number of undergraduate that's little are very high in terms of quality intake. So we envisage that our student will be CGPA, I'm not sure whether you use CGPA here, it's equivalent to 4.0 to enter UTM in the near future. At the moment it's 3.71 this year intake. And from time to time we increase postgraduate, we don't have American very stringent quality. You have to get 700 TOEFL before you can enter top school in America. In Malaysia, we set at about 550, say for example. But from time to time, we are going to increase them. Yeah.
طبعا هو يعني الرسم يوضح العلاقة المضطردة بين أعداد الطلاب والتأثير على الجودة في المخرجات التعليم. وأيضا من المعايير المهمة اللي ذكرها كمان الاختبارات القياسية في القبول وأهميتها لجودة المدخلات كقبول وأيضا المخرجات بالعدد المحدد اللي وضع في الخطة.
Yeah, and we think that with this ratio allow us to do a lot of innovation in teaching, in learning, in research and whatnot, because the number of students are very manageable. In the year 2004, say for example, we have about 18,000 undergraduates. In class, we have 200 undergraduates per physics class, per chemical engineering, but now we have about 60. Yeah, but this is good. With 60, you can really have eye-to-eye contact. You have to have personal touch, and you can do a lot of things.
طبعا بالعمل على تحديد الأعداد في الطلاب الدراسات العليا وأيضا طلاب البكالوريوس ساعد على التركيز في تطوير العملية التعليمية وأيضا البحث العلمي والابتكار. فالعدد يعني وتحديده يساعد على تركيز الجامعة في هذا العدد والتركيز على المخرجات وأيضا جودة التعليم والبحث العلمي والابتكار.
UTM was big. In between, I didn't put number by the year 2000, 1997, 1998, which is very big. Yeah, because during economic crisis at that time, we were not allowed to send students abroad, so the students are landed in local universities. But what we did, our colleges, we liberate them to become new universities. So we had 3 other universities as a spin-off of UTM. National Defense University, University Tun Hussein On, and University Malaysia Pahang. So these are 3 spin-off of UTMs that we make them independent university about 10 years ago.
طبعا يعني زي ما بيحصل في العالم انه هناك بعض المتغيرات زي ما حصل في الازمه الاقتصاديه في شرق اسيا اضطروا الى زياده العدد، بس اللي عملوه عشان لا يخسروا الجوده انه حولوا بعض الكليات الى جامعات، فصارت عندهم 3 جامعات جديده بدلا من تكون جامعه فيها عدد كبير فيفقدوا الجوده في البحث العلمي والابتكار.
Okay, and I think these are 5 research universities in Malaysia. You can see that in terms of international students, we are very high in number. So UTM is about 19% international student. Yeah, and this year we are about 20%. Yeah, 4,900 by the year 2012. So this is mainly a graduate program, which is very competitive, and a lot of international students interested to go to our graduate programs.
طبعا الجامعة يعني في السنوات الأخيرة هم حرصوا على أنه تستقطب طلاب من جنسيات تخصصات مختلفة لإثراء العملية التعليمية والبحث العلمي في الجامعة، ووصلوا في السنة 2012 إلى حوالي 20% لطلاب من جنسيات مختلفة في شرق آسيا وأوروبا وأمريكا.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about New Academia. I've introduced myself and then with the translation taking a bit of time.
هذه كانت طبعا مقدمة والآن إن شاء الله هيتكلم
عن.
Sorry,
too long مقدمة.
It's okay.
Okay, we start with this book. It's written by a Turkish professor based at MIT by the name of Darren Acemoglu, and American professor based at Harvard. And this is the best-selling book at the moment. If you want to write, if you want to read a book, and this year I recommend you to write this, to read this book. Why Nations Fail. In this study, he tried to understand whether it is because of culture, or it's because of weather, or because of geography, or ignorance of the right policies. So, and the authors, after 20 years of studies, found that the nations fail because of the man-made political and economic institution that underline economic success. Institutions means higher education, finance, blah, 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 yeah? So, and poor countries are poor because those who have power make choices that create poverty. And they get it wrong, not by mistake or ignorance, but on purpose, yeah? Because they know it.
طبعا هناك كتاب مسمى لماذا تسقط الأمم. ترى أنا سامحوني على الترجمة، ماني خبير في الترجمة الفورية، لكن هذا اجتهاد في الترجمة. أحد يعني هناك، هل هو الثقافة، المناخ، الطبيعة الجغرافية إلى آخره، لكن يعني تقريبا خلص الكتاب إلى أن السياسات الخاصة بالاقتصاد والسياسة وخصوصا التعليم والمؤسسات القائمة على وذكر يعني انه بعض الدول الفقيرة هناك سياسات اللي خلقت بيئة الفقر، فينطبق الكلام هذا حسب ما ذكر انه ايضا على التعليم العالي. مؤسسات تعمل على التعليم العالي سياساتها قد تحفز تطور التعليم او لا تطور التعليم.
The same question, why universities fail? Yeah. So this is the red one is mine. So I think universities fail to become what they're supposed to be because we choose to become mediocre. Yeah, the choice is to create mediocrity so that we are not excel.
طبعا على نفس النسق هذا هو بدأ يدرس لماذا تسقط الجامعات أو تنجح. يعني في الآخر أنه هناك أكيد في سياسات أو توجهات معينة تساعد على إما صعود الجامعات أو سقوطها.
Yeah, and this is the importance of institutional DNA. So I'm going to talk about New Academia, where the focus is institutional DNA. Yes. And institutional DNA is driven by three pillars. One is called strategy. The second one is called structure, how you structure the university, whether you want to have dean of research, 10 dean of research, or 20 dean of research. If you are not focusing on research, as a result, you are not research-driven. If you put money, put resources, make sure the structure is towards that, you become research-driven. And the third one is the culture. So the culture is I'm going to talk about. So there is a hadith, riwayat Muslim, an Abi Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, anna Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam qala, man salaka tariqan yaltamisu fihi ilman sahalallahu lahu bihi tariqan ila al-jannah. So if we make that as a culture, everyone's going to university because they know this is one tariq, one way to Jannah. So inshallah, that is the culture they want to create.
طبعا هو بيتكلم عن مسمى بالدي ان اي المؤسسي اللي يوضع في الجامعه ويكون هو الروح المحركه لجميع الانشطه اللي تكون في الجامعه، سواء في وضع الاستراتيجيه او الهيكله او بناء الهياكل سواء الرئاسيه او الافقيه للادارات المختلفه والكليات، وايضا الثقافه اللي توجد في الجامعه والفكر المؤسسي.
Yeah, and how to create DNA. So a lot of us, when we plan university, we start with planning. We plan something, and then we implement. how we want to do it. And then we want, from time to time, we improve. And then it became part of our habit. Habit is what we do without thinking. Yeah? When people ask me, what is habit? Habit you do without thinking. Every morning when you wake up, alhamdulillah, and you go to bath, you don't have to think you want to go to bath. And when you are in bathroom, the first thing you do is to take your toothbrush. You don't have to think. This is what habit in your life. And this is what we want to do. A good habit. And from habit is one person. If the whole community share the same habit, it became culture. Culture will not exist if only 10 of us are doing the good habits. Culture is only exists when 80%, 70%, majority of us are doing the same thing. Yeah? And then it became part of us, DNA. Yeah? And part of us. And what is culture is about artifacts, about what is the logo, the brand of the university, the name of university, the way we think, the way we do things, SOP, standard operating practice, what is our rituals, what is our teamwork, what is the lifestyle, endowment culture and whatnot. So this make DNA of organizations. And this is what we are trying to do.
الكليات الطبية تساعدنا في الترجمة حق الدي ان اي. الحمض النووي ولا ايش نقول؟ فهو بيقول انه التغيير المؤسسي في الجامعات يبدأ بالتخطيط ثم التنفيذ والتطبيق الى ان يتحول الى عادة. تصير عادة عضو تدريس، التدريس الجيد، البحث العلمي، الابتكار، تصير عادة في ثم تنتقل الى ان تتحول الى ثقافة. والثقافة الفرق بينها وبين العادة حسب يعني شرحه ان العادة ممكن تكون فردية لمجموعة من الاشخاص في الجامعة، اما الثقافة تكون هي الأغلبية، العادة الغالبة لأعضاء التدريس في الجامعة. ثم يتحول الى ان يكون الدي ان اي الحمض النووي في الجامعة للمؤسسة. تنتقل عبر الأجيال وتتوارث.
Okay. I don't want to talk about culture because this is not my topic. I can talk about culture one day, academic culture. Normally, when one of the assignments given to me by the Minister of Higher Education in Malaysia is to give training to the future rector, president, and vice chancellor of universities. So, though I'm still young, I think I'm still young.
You are.
But I'm the third most senior rector or president of university in Malaysia, the third most senior, because I'm already fifth year. I was president of university when I was 43 years of age. Mm-hmm. Yeah, alhamdulillah. And then I give a lot of sharing with my colleagues. So what I'm going to talk here, when we talk about academic culture, we have to have at least 5 things. One is dare to change. Many of us, when we are in academia, we don't want to change. Therefore, we are here. We are in academics because we refuse change. First-class work culture is very important. Many of us been to many places in the world, studied in many places. You were in Carnegie Mellon, in Stanford. You can see the work culture. Yeah? And delivery system. The spirit of volunteerism must be very high, and teamwork. So I have these slides, very important slides, about teamwork. Types of interaction is synergy when you have that. I'm not a mathematician, so I can use whatever formula I want. So 1 + 1, when you are synergized, you get more than 2. Okay, it can be 3, it can be 10, it can be 100, something like that. Yeah. So this is for Muslim, they can understand very easily. If you pray in haram, you get 100,000 more rewards than you praying in Malaysia. So they come to haram from time to time. So you pray the same thing, and that can transform university. That can transform our organization. And this is what we are trying to do in my university. We are not leveraging on defensiveness. Defensiveness is 1 + 1. Whatever you have, whatever I have, we share and then we get half as a result. We want synergy. Therefore, we have a lot of conflict resolution meetings. We want to reduce conflict. We want to move forward. We want to transform. And there is a saying also, if two people have the same opinion, one is unnecessary. Yeah, by Stephen Covey.
طيب مصطلحات بدأت تتعقد فحاول برضو أترجم. أيوة. طبعا هو يتكلم عن خلق أو الإيجاد هذه الثقافة في الحياة الأكاديمية أو في الجامعة. هناك يعني هو ذكر 5 معايير مهمة، وهي الرغبة والشغف للتغيير والتطوير. موضوع انه كيف يكون العمل يعني فيرست كلاس، يعني الفئة الأولى كثقافة موجودة في الجامعة، انه افضل العمل سواء في التدريس او البحث العلمي. روح التعاون وروح العمل كفريق، هذه من الاشياء المهمة جدا. ومن التجارب اللي يعني اللي ذكرها هو انه مش دائما 1 زائد 1 يعني يساوي 2. يقول لما يكون 1 زائد 1 2 بالحسابات العادية، كأنه أنا يعني ما عند شخص وشخص آخر كعطاء سواء في التدريس أو البحث العلمي حيسوي قد شخص واحد، شخصين مجتمعين. بينما يقول اكتشفنا خصوصا بوجود هذه روح الفريق، قد يخرج من بحثين اللي كان بيطلع مثلا بحث واحد في السنة ممكن يطلعوا 20 بحث بس لو اجتمعوا واشتغلوا مع بعض. في هذا على سبيل المثال يعني.
Yeah. Some of us, we studied in Western universities. We found that professors are very independent. They are not relying on other professors. And sometimes they are contradicting. And with that, they still can become very well known in their own field or the university, great in reputation. But in order to compete with them, we cannot follow them. We must be different. We must work differently. And as a Muslim, we must remember the teaching of Islam, saying that we are brother, we must help each other, and وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى and whatnot. So this is the spirit that we have, and this is what transformation is all about. Yeah. So can I go to what we try to do and then understand?
I need to translate the last one. It's important.
Oh.
هو ذكر أيضا إنه لكي ننافس لما هو موجود في الجامعات في الغرب، يجب أن نكون نبحث عن نقاط التميز لدينا. ومن أهم هذه النقاط التميز أن في ديننا الحنيف هناك الدعوة للتعاون والعمل الجماعي والأخوة وتعاون على البر والتقوى إلى آخره. فالمعايير هذه موجودة، فقط إحنا نحتاج نطبق هذه المعايير في العمل المؤسسي في الجامعات لكي ننافس في البحث العلمي والتعليم.
Yeah. I want to share with you how we implement new academia in my university. I'm so sorry to relate this to university because that's the only subject I know best. Yeah, because people refer to me and otherwise I have to refer to other cases. So I refer to my university, and we want to become a global brand by 2020. Whenever people talk about UTM, people know UTM is somewhere. And in order to do that, we have to maintain our quality. We need to get recognition. We need to have our uniqueness, and we have to have our pricing right. In Saudi, probably the pricing issue is not important. In Malaysia, it's very important. We have to charge people to come to Malaysia. Yeah. And then I can say, okay, yeah, that's it.
هو طبعا رؤيتهم من الكتاب طبعا الكتاب ده يوثق تجربته في النقلة النوعية اللي حصلت في الجامعة. وأيضا هم رؤيتهم أنه يحولوا جامعة University Technology ماليزيا أو UTM إلى جلوبال براند، يعني علامة عالمية أشبه ما يسمى بالعلامات التجارية. احنا في الجامعات نسمع مثلا هارفارد، خلاص هذه علامة. فهم كانت هذه رؤيتهم، من خلال هذه النقلة النوعية يصنعوا علامة عالمية فارقة باسم جامعتهم.
We are not in Mecca, so it's very difficult for us. People don't know us. You, Qura, alhamdulillah, you are here. So without publicity, people know that Qura is in Mecca, yeah, but not UTM. So you have to play different game altogether.
يقول نحن يعني جامعة القرى يعني أكرمها الله بوجودها في مكة المكرمة، هي علامة من اسمها يعني. Yeah. جامعة القرى بمكة المكرمة.
Okay. let's see, this is what normally people refer to as top 10 university in the world. I don't want to know whether this is correct way of doing things, whatever. Yeah, but if you quote one of them, they are in between. Okay, what they have is this. They have top professors, they have top students. They have sufficient operating grants, sufficient development grants, high impact publication and everything. Yeah? So if we want to compete with them, we have to be good as them. Can you just, I want to be very quick.
هو طبعا يعني بغض النظر عن الجدل الحاصل عن التصنيف العالمي للجامعات، لكن هناك تصنيفات مختلفة. طبعا هنا رصدوا عدد من التوب 10 يونيفرسيتيز، العشر جامعات الأولى في العالم. وطبعا المعايير بتختلف في يعني أدوات التصنيف، لكن يعني هذه بعض مؤشرات قياس أداء الجامعة وتطورها سواء في البحث العلمي أو الابتكار وأيضا في العملية التعليمية.
Okay, and this is, we have 65 universities in Malaysia, but this is 5 research universities in Malaysia. We can do many things on our own. We have a kind of autonomy to decide number of students, program we want to do, and ministries of higher education and education normally just follow our recommendation. So we are safe in that regards.
طبعا هناك 5 جامعات بحثية في ماليزيا.
And what is the way forward? So this is very important, yes? So we, at the moment we are in phase 1. Phase 1 is alignment to the global university criteria, and then we are going to high impact programs and then strategic transformation. This is what we are trying to do at the moment. Yeah.
طبعا قسموا الخطة تحول الجامعة إلى علامة عالمية فارقة إلى 3 مراحل.
And we use, because I mentioned about institutional DNA, there's strategy, structure, and culture. Yeah? We use a strategy devised by a professor called Chan Kim. He's a very famous professor. He is advisor to the Malaysian government, and he comes to Malaysia almost every month, so I meet him quite often. So we discuss many things, including the strategy of my university. So he wrote a book called Blue Ocean Strategy. Yeah, so this is very important. And what is Blue Ocean? Blue Ocean is create uncontested market space. Uncontested. No one compete with you. Make the competition irrelevant. No one would like to compete with you because irrelevant. They don't want to compete with you. Create and capture new demand. Break the value cost trade-off and have differentiation and low cost. Yeah, so these are criteria of Blue Ocean strategy.
طبعا لما بدأوا في وضع الاستراتيجية للجامعة للتحول استفادوا من كتاب يسمى بلو أوشن استراتيجي لبروفيسور تشان كيم. هذا الكتاب يعني هو معروف، يعني ما بدي أترجم سياسة المحيط الأزرق، أو إنه الفكرة باختصار إنه الجامعة لكي تتحول من مرحلة إلى مرحلة أخرى يجب أن تبحث عن مجال يعني متميز مختلف عما وصلت إليه الجامعات الأخرى. وإحنا عندنا مكة والحج، يعني هذا مجال لو اشتغلنا عليه مضبوط يساعدنا في أشياء كثير يعني.
And in Blue Ocean, BOS is Blue Ocean Strategy. There is a procedure to do it, and one of them we call it strategy canvas. And we try to compete and to know certain parameters, tuition fees, academic stars. Academic stars means you are top professors, you are Nobel laureates, you are well, undergraduate quality enrollment, PhD period. This is what we make our own. This is not done by Chan Kim, this is done by my team. Yeah? Research facilities, and we compete. Say for example, you take MIT. MIT is top, yeah? But they have problem of PhD student. Some of their PhD students within 7 years, they are not yet completing. Because of 2 reasons. Because they want to be associated with MIT. So what are you doing now? I'm with MIT. What are you doing PhD? How long? 7 years. Still not finishing. Yeah? So sometimes people feel proud because they are part of MIT. Therefore, MIT now is looking this very seriously. People overstay at MIT, yeah? And they don't have campus like what we have. They are downtown Cambridge, Massachusetts. So it's very compact. If you go to Hong Kong University, they are almost the same pattern, yeah? So they have almost the same, they are better in terms of tuition fees, higher tuition fees, and this is UTM. We have to understand this, and we have to be truthful. We have to understand where we are, and in order to compete. We don't have top stars in academia. Probably the most excellent professors in UTM is a couple of them, including myself, probably, yeah? And we are not top stars. We are not noted person in our field on global basis. We are not candidate for Nobel Prize, something like that. And undergraduates coming to our program are not as good as what they have, yeah? But we have advantage over them. Most of our PhD students complete within 4 years in UTM. That is our competitive advantage compared to MIT. About 36% of our students complete within 3 years doing PhD in UTM. 36%. And people ask, how can you ensure the quality? We change the format from British thick, very, very thick thesis into compilation of 4 journal papers. So if you want to complain about the quality, you complain with the journals that they publish in. Yeah, so there is no complaint. The recent PhD graduates of UTM that we award them gold medal, he has 34 impact factors with 11 papers that he published within 27 months. So nobody complained about him because he has 38 impact factors. So this is the way forward if you want to have better standards. And we are lacking, but we have beautiful campus. We can compete with all this. Our campus, beautiful, tremendous. If you have time to go to our campus, you've been to our campus, it's Jannah. Yeah? There are rivers flowing, and there are trees, and there are monkeys, and then so beautiful. I think you can read them. Not finished yet. And what is our competitive advantage? Competitive advantage of UTM is if we can come up with new academia. Because MIT is not planning to have new academia. Harvard is planning. Because Harvard is competing with Stanford. They want to become comparable with Stanford. So they are doing a lot on the academia. Then we want to leverage on our tropical environment. There are a lot of students from Arab countries, from Saudi, from Qatar, from Bahrain, from UAE, coming to UTM, and they like it. Yeah, because we have a lot of rains. You know, if you have meeting like this, suddenly rain, you can see that Arab student will go out to play with the rain. So I had one visit by a group of people from Dammam. It's not Dammam, Oman. What is the capital of Oman? Muscat. And suddenly it was rain, and everyone looking at the back, yeah, at the rain, because they want to play with the rain. And job creation. So this is what we are trying to do. This is what we can compete. This is uncontested field that we can be comparable to this leading university.
طبعا هو بيذكر انه كيف نبحث عن الميزه التنافسيه للجامعه لكي تنافس وتحول الى علامه يعني عالميه مثل علامات الجامعات العالميه المتميزه. طبعا بيقول انه في جامعات يمكن سبقونا في مراحل كثيره فما اقدر نسابقهم في مواضيع معينه مثل اكاديميك ستارز اللي هم نوبل برايز وينرز فائزين على جائزه نوبل او كذا. لكن في مجالات أخرى بحثوا عنها في الجامعة. طبعا هو شكل فريق خاص بتطوير الاستراتيجية هذه. على سبيل المثال ذكر يعني أنه عندهم ميزة تنافسية في وجود مساحات. MIT على سبيل المثال وجودها في وسط قلب بوسطن عندها أزمة في وجود مساحات للنمو والتطور ويعني في الجامعة وتوفير مرافق خاصة بالجامعة. لكن هم عندهم مدينة جامعية كبيرة في موقع متميز في طبيعة وبيئة متميزة وخلابة. ذكر هو على سبيل الدعابة أن في بعض أحد المحاضرات اكتشف الطلاب ينظروا للخلف، كان في قزاز بيطل على الغابة أو الحديقة ومطر، فطبعا احنا يعني وجود مطر يعني جو جميل، هم بالنسبة لهم ده 24 ساعة المطر يعني. تفضل. فالخلاصة انه في ميزة تنافسية ممكن تكون للجامعات إذا بحثت عنها واستثمرت فيها، يساعدها لتطوير استراتيجية تنقلها من إلى مكان آخر.
So this is what we are trying to do. So in Blue Ocean, we have to understand what we want to eliminate, what we don't want to do. So we don't want to compete with these people. We are not going to hire Nobel Prize winner. We are not going to increase our tuition fees. We must make sure that there is no plagiarism, and we want to get rid of non-performers. So this is difficult. If you don't perform, we allow you to go out, and we ask you to go out. Yeah, so this is big undertaking. And we want to reduce undergraduate, PhD, period of studies. So instead of 4 years, we want to make sure that they complete within 3 years or 3.5 years. And we are also going to raise, many people when they talk about strategy, they are talking about how to raise citation, improve our facilities, research and whatnot. But not many people trying to reduce or eliminate. Eliminate means that we don't want to think about it. Yeah, we just scratch it out from our strategy. But what we want to create is this new academia, tropical experience and job creation. So this is big in this BOS.
طبعا هم يعني لتطبيق هذه الاستراتيجية وضعوا 4 محاور. محور ما هي الأشياء التي لا يعني يريدون أن يدخلوا فيها عشان يكسبوا المنافسة، مثل استقطاب الحائزين على نوبل، يعني برايز، حائزين على جائزة نوبل، وانه ارفع الرسوم الدراسه الى اخره. ففي معايير معينه قالوا احنا ما حنتكلم فيها، لانه لو دخلنا فيها ما حنقدر ننافس مع الجامعات الاخرى. في امور ثانيه اجتهدوا على انه في يدهم انه يخففوا فيها، مثل او يقللوا منها، مثل اعداد طلاب البكالوريوس او الدراسات الجامعيه، وايضا فتره مكوث الطالب لدراسه الدكتوراه كيف يقدروا يقلصوها برضه. وأمور أخرى في الجامعة في يدهم أنهم يحركوها ويزيدوها أو يرفعوها، مثل المرافق البحثية والخدمات البحثية في الجامعة، وأيضا النشر في المجلات العلمية المرقية. هذه من الأشياء اللي في يدهم واشتغلوا على زيادتها ورفعها. والشيء الجديد اللي حاولوا، هذا المحور الرابع، أنه يوجدوه أو يخلقوه، هو بيئة النيو أكاديميا اللي هو حيتكلم عنها، وأيضا الخبرة أو التجربة في التعليم في البيئة الاستوائية في ماليزيا، وأيضا خلق فرص العمل أو ما يسمى بالجوب كرييشن.
Yeah, and sorry, I just want to skip this because we don't have much time. Okay, this is very important, and this is where I was 5 years ago or 4 years ago, when I first became president of university. What is the future university? This is very important. We don't want to repeat. We want to have new academia. We don't have to repeat what people have done. This is typical university. They start with undergraduate and graduate school, and then they focus on advanced studies. Means that in the first stage, mainly they start with MBA program, master's program here and there. But postgraduate advanced studies means PhD and whatnot, yeah? And they have become more focused research university. So this is where we are now. When we started, I started my career as president of university, UTM was at level 3. And this is big thing. Whether I want to become university that very closely associated with industry, and industry not necessarily factories. Industry means job market. Industry means our stakeholders. Or we want to become different. So we choose to become entrepreneurial academia. We choose not to become closely associated industry. What is the difference between industry and entrepreneurships? industries means that you are working with big conglomerates, big setup, big organization, whereas entrepreneurship is individual. We start scratch. We start with Facebook, nothing. We start with $10 in your pocket, not with 10 billion in your pocket. With industry, you start with 10 billion. And it's very difficult to convince industry because whenever they agree to pay research with university, say for example 3 million Saudi Riyal, they take them about 3 months or 1 year to decide. But if you want to have entrepreneurial academia, the students, the staff can start anytime they like because it does not cost 3 million. It costs very little. So we started this idea, and therefore what I'm going to talk today is mainly how to generate that entrepreneurial spirit in university. Yeah? And this is the key performance indicators or critical success factor. Number 1, you need PhD staff. Number 2, well-known professors. And number 5, which is new academia. Yeah?
طبعا هو بعد ما وضعوا الخطة وضعوا جدولة لتنفيذها من عام 1985 إلى 2005. في البداية كان تأسيس برامج طبعا دراسات بكالوريوس والدراسات العليا، وبعدين انتقلوا إلى مرحلة الدراسات المتقدمة في الدراسات العليا والتركيز عليها. طبعا يعني هي موجودة برامج البكالوريوس الجامعة عمرها قرن، بس التركيز عليها في تطويرها وتقنينها وتحديد الأعداد بناء التخصصات المطلوبة. وبعد كده الدراسات العليا، بعدين تركيز الجامعة في مجالات، وضع استراتيجية للبحث العلمي، وضع مجالات بحثية متخصصة في الجامعة تتميز فيها، هذه في المرحلة الثالثة. بعد كده انتقلوا لمرحلة ارتباط الجامعة بالمجتمع، بالسوق العمل، بالقطاعات الحكومية والقطاعات الخاصة، وما يسمى بالاندستري يعني اكاديميك بارتنرشيب، ربط الجامعة بما هو خارج أسوار الجامعة. وبالتالي هناك أبحاث تطبيقية وهناك بعض الابتكارات التي حولت، لكن وضعوا خطة طموحة أكبر من هذا الموضوع في المرحلة الأخيرة، وهو ما يسمى بالانتربرنوريال أكاديمي، أو يعني تكون الجامعة جامعة ريادية. والريادة هنا في ريادة الأعمال وفي ريادة البحث العلمي وفي في الريادة في المجالات المختلفة. أيضا ذكر هو هذه المراحل اللي وضعوها في الخطة ومشوا عليها: زيادة أعداد طلاب الدراسات العليا خصوصا الدكتوراه، وبعد كده انه يدعم ويشجع اعضاء التدريس المعروفين والمتخصصين في مجالات محدده. وبعد كده خلق وثقافه البحث العلمي ونشرها في الجامعه، ثم انشاء شبكه من العلاقات للتعاون الدولي مع المراكز البحثيه المتميزه في العالم. والمرحله الاخيره ما تم تسميتها نيو أكاديمية أو الحياة الأكاديمية الجديدة.
طيب, this is the criteria. The black one is the old. Faculty members in the past was professors. Yeah, but now there are a lot of inventors coming. They come to university to teach, not taking the whole class, but part of the class. Say, for example, in computer science, we have inventors teaching our students. They take probably 10 hours. Out of 36 hours. But this is experience. And he explained important things, and students communicate with them. Yeah? Entrepreneurs. Learning materials is no longer books and journal, but experience. We allow them to experience a lot of things. Yeah? Internet, internship, tacit knowledge. Philosophy is not specialization, but integration. Therefore, we have 10 research alliances: water, construction, transportation, infocom. This is integration and meaning. At the end of the day, outcomes is no longer degree and expertise, but business model. Because while studying, they learn how to create companies. They learn how to generate capital. They know people because the entrepreneurs coming to university, they have network and they develop culture. So this is what we are trying to do now, and we are doing it. I can show you examples. And in order to do that, we have programs. Say, for example, with PhDs, we call them lecturer or associate professors or professors. Those who are coming from industry, we call them adjunct staff. And they are also fellows, top-notch entrepreneurs in the countries. Say, for example, they are our fellows. They come to teach students, to interact with students and staff, and they can co-supervise project as well. Yeah, and you can see that learning models. You have new pedagogy. It's not what we normally teach. It's different. Mainly not sitting what I'm doing now. It is more interactive and more interaction between students. Yeah? And outcomes, therefore, we have what we call as job creation projects. We give money to students, 1,000 USD per student if they want. Yeah? And then this is loan, they must return back. And with this money, they must create companies. They must do some projects. And the project is the real projects. I can give you an example of projects. Say, for example, you want to reduce 10% water consumption in this building. So the student must think how best they can reduce. And if we manage to reduce 10%, the difference with the previous water bill, and now is belong to the student. So the student can use that as profit and then return back 1,000. So this is a real project. Yeah, it is not hypothetical project. It is a real project.
اوكي سو يعني هم طبعا حطوا المعايير لتحقيق الرؤيه الاستراتيجيه اللي وضعت للجامعه، ولكل معيار او من هذه المعايير وضعوا برامج لتحقيق هذه الاهداف، البرامج اللي مذكوره على الجهه اليمنى. فعلى سبيل المثال هو ذكر اللي يقوم بعمليه تدريسيه عاده اعضاء تدريس في الجامعه، هم فتحوا الباب في الجامعة للاستفادة من العلماء والمتخصصين والخبراء في المجالات المختلفة اللي خارج أسوار الجامعة، والجامعة لم تستفد منهم ولا طلابها. فذكر هنا مثلا رواد أعمال خلقوا برنامج اللي هو يسموه، أوجدوا برنامج اسمه adjunct professor أو staff، يعني مش لازم يكون مرتبط بموظف في الجامعة عشان يدرس في الجامعة. إنسان خبير متخصص في مجال معين خارج الجامعة يأتي محاضرة في الأسبوع أو محاضرتين، سواء من رواد الأعمال أو المبتكرين والمبدعين في القطاعات الحكومية والخاصة في ماليزيا. فهذا على سبيل المثال كيف غيروا في عملية أعضاء التدريس اللي بيقوموا عملية التدريس. طبعا ذكر مثال آخر في عملية وسائل التعليم وأدوات التعليم، بالإضافة إلى الكتب والأبحاث العلمية المنشورة، فتحوا مجال لموضوع التدريب العملي والميداني في مجال العمل في التخصصات المختلفة، وتحسب للطالب ساعات. طبعا هذا موجود في الكليات، لكن هم وسعوا في البرنامج ده انه يحسبوا للطلاب اللي بيمارس في الميدان في مجالات العمل والتخصصات المختلفة، تحسب له ساعات عمل، فيثري فكر والمعلومات للطالب ويربطه بسوق العمل بعد يعني تخرجه.
This is example for this year. We have 100 projects this year. So first we announce the projects. So we have 100 projects who are interested to this project. The students who are interested to this project, they will be able to get information. Say, for example, I give you how to protect our exams. How to improve our system to get transport facilities from university. So it's all done by students. It's not done by contractors. It's not done by suppliers. It's done by students. Students did it, and they come, they get the brief, and if they need money to set up a company, they must set up a company. Yeah, otherwise we are not able to pay them. And they have to know, but it's very easy in Malaysia. It takes less than 1 day. You just go to internet, blah, 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 and then you create a company. And if there is no similarity of the name of the companies, you will be awarded that company online, say, for example, within 1 day. But after that, there are processes, and they have to bid for that. Say, for example, for that particular project, 20 student companies interested to bid. So they have to bid like what we are bidding at the moment. So this introduces students to the real practice of business. They have to compete, they have to price properly so that they can get the projects. And after that, they will be given the project. Say, for example, out of 20, only one will be given a project. So those who are not getting the projects, they get 1 credit for preparing to bid, to tender, to take part in the tender. They get 1 credit, whether they get A for 1 credit or C for 1 credit, depending on the assessment. And those who follow through, get the projects, they will get another 3 credits. So it means 1 credit plus 3 credits. And this is real projects. Yeah? And then job execution could be 3 to 6 months. And after the completion, there will be a learning component. Professors will teach them how to do it. Entrepreneurs will teach them how to pack the whole thing. Entrepreneurs will not giving lectures. They will sitting there and people come. I have this problem. How can I solve this problem? I have some simulation issues. So can you help me on this? That kind of issues. Not giving lectures. We don't allow anyone to give lectures. And then they will get grades. If those who fail for the bidding, one project, 19 companies fail, they get 1 credit equivalent. And 1 credit could be A or C or D, depending. And 1 project will follow through for another one, another 3 credits. And we have 100 of such projects.
Are these university projects or the market?
University projects.
University projects.
Yeah.
طبعا هم بيعطوا فرصة للطلاب. هذا ذكر المثال على التغيير في النمط في العملية التعليمية فيما يسمى بريادة أعمال وتأسيس المنشآت التجارية للطلاب وكيف يساهموا في إنشاء شركة ناشئة أو منشأة تجارية. هذا يعني هو في منافسة ويدخلوا في أكثر من مشروع تعرضه الجامعة ويتقدموا، وإذا فازوا في المشروع بالمشاركة طبعا من المتخصصين في المجالات العلمية المختلفة من الجامعة ضاية التدريس، وأيضا رواد الأعمال، وأيضا أصحاب رؤوس العلماء والحسب تفهم. Venture capitalist, right? The VC.
VC is me.
You, the vice chancellor. Oh, sorry. So maybe I misunderstand, mixed it with the venture capitalist.
Yeah.
الهدف إنه مشاركتهم يمنحوا عليها درجات في الجامعة من خلال ممارستهم في التقديم لمشروع لوضع حلول معينة الجامعة تحتاجها. والمشروع الناجح يدعم ويحول إلى شركة شركاؤها هم الطلاب اللي شاركوا في هذا المشروع. فيساعد في المحور الذي من الهدف رقم 12 اللي وضعه في أن الجامعة كيف تساهم في أيضا خلق فرص عمل. الخريج يصبح صاحب عمل هو يوظف خريجي الجامعة.
I give you an example of projects. This is example of projects. It don't have to be too technical. I forgot where did I put the projects. Okay, anyway, I didn't find it.
طبعا هذا من خلال المنافسة أو المناقصة، يعني مثلا تطرح الجامعة defined هم يحددوا هذه المشاريع.
Yes.
The students apply for.
Yes. Say for example, how to reduce utilization of papers by 20%. The difference between the previous spending and what you can reduce, you get it. That is your profit. That is profit belong to student. Yeah. But the following months is belong to university.
طبعا هو يكون بالشراكة في الربحية من أي مشروع يعني للطالب، وبعد كذا يرجع للجامعة. ذكر على سبيل المثال مشروع لتقليص الأعمال الورقية وتحميلها إلكترونية في داخل الجامعة.
So this is example of people coming. Mark Chang, MIT graduate, he started a company called Job Street. This is the biggest job online facilities in Asia Pacific, from Japan to Australia. This is the biggest company, Job Street. It's a Malaysian company, and he came to UTM several times and talking about his story, how he created that. He was trained as a mechanical engineering, masters at MIT, but he ended up with software engineering professions. Yeah, so he can tell his story.
طبعا هذا مثال يعني لطالب أسس شركة معروفة في شرق آسيا في البحث عن وظائف العمل.
Because we don't have much time, so I have to be very quick. On top of that, we introduced what we call as minor programs. We have major in chemical engineering, minor in entrepreneurships. Major in petroleum engineering, minor in business studies or in Islamic studies, something like that. So the importance of minor is very, very, very critical in new academia because people get different perspective. To get minor, you must have 15 extra credits.
طبعا هم برضو لتطبيق الاستراتيجية اللي وضعت للجامعة أنشأوا يعني في نفس برامج الدراسات العليا في الماجستير والدكتوراه أنشأوا ما يسمى ب يعني ماجستير في المجال الفلاني لكن في تخصص دقيق. فالتخصصات الدقيقة هذه تخدم الرؤية اللي تحققها في الجامعة تحت التخصص الموجود الرئيسي. فذكر على سبيل المثال ماجستير مثلا في الهندسة الميكانيكية تخصص دقيق ريادة أعمال أو حاسب أو إدارة أعمال.
The 3+1 credits will be taken as minor in entrepreneurship, say for example. So there are many 3+1, and then they can come up with minor. If they do projects for university, they can get minor out of it. And this is a real minor. It is a practical minor.
والتخصص الدقيق هذا تخصص عملي من خلال الممارسة والتجارب والممارسة اللي ذكرها في أنماط الدراسات العليا. هناك طبعا ساعات معتمدة يجب أن يغطيها ليكون يأخذ للتخصص العام والتخصص الدقيق في الدراسات العليا.
This will allow people and students not to leave university. Facebook, when the person started Facebook, he left university because he gained no credits from university. Yeah. Bill Gates left university because when he started the computer, it's nothing to do with his study, and then he left. We don't want that to happen to university. And when I studied, when I attended the program at Harvard in January this year, they discussed about that. Why students left university and then they become big entrepreneur? They should be following the whole system and then they graduate from that university and they become entrepreneur. Not while studying they left. It means that they disown the university.
طبعا ذكر هو انه كثير من الرواد والمبتكرين تركوا الجامعات زي ذكر بيل جيتس وفيسبوك طلعت برضه الجامعه. الجامعه ما اوجدت البيئه الداعمه والمحفزه لاحتضان هؤلاء. فبالاضافه لانه هو يحتضن ويتخرج من الجامعه للحصول على الدرجه المطلوبه العلميه ايضا يكون هو من الرواد اللي خرجتهم الجامعه. فالجامعه تستفيد وهو يستفيد.
Yeah. The same thing happening to Islamic studies. We have 5 tracks in university, 5 excellent tracks. One is entrepreneurships. The other one is academics, leadership, sports, and tahfiz. It's a lot of students in ETM memorizing Quran. So they can get Islamic studies minor if they complete memorizing 30 juzu of Quran. Yeah.
طبعا وجود التخصصات الدقيقة كمان يحفز طلاب لهم رغبات مختلفة أن تتحقق من خلال دراستهم. فيقول مثلا في طلاب كثيرين عندهم لهم اهتمام بالدراسات الإسلامية قد يترك المجال اللي هو يعني مبتكر ومبدع فيه أو عنده روح ريادة الأعمال لأنه له رغبة في مجال الدراسات الإسلامية. فأوجدوا التخصصات الدقيقة دي داخل التخصصات أو من خلال دراسته للتخصصات العلمية وأيضا دراسات إسلامية في نفس الجامعة.
Yeah, this is 5 excellent track programs we call it. Yeah, so this is we want our students to excel and we give credits because of their excellence. Academic, entrepreneurship, sports, leadership, and tahfiz. Yeah. So this is what I'm.
5 مجالات التميز في التخصصات الدقيقة للجامعة.
So they are doing mechanical engineering, but they have is 30 juzuk while studying in UTM, something like that. Okay, finally I'm going to talk about how we can compete, because in the past I talked about what is new academia. So in our Blue Ocean strategy, we have to develop 10 top labs. Why not 100? Because we don't have money to develop 100. So we developed only 10. 10 flagship projects and 500 top PhD. So this is what we are trying to do. And what I'm going to share with you, we are interested on this one. And we want to give incentive for those who can write in that journal. Yeah, very specific science and nature journals. We want to give them 100,000 ringgit or 110,000 Saudi Riyal if you manage to publish in that journal. So this is an incentive to compete. And this indirectly create anxiety and assignment among our staff to write in top journals.
طبعا يعني لتحفيز اوجدوا يعني اليات للتحفيز سواء في هنا ذكر على سبيل المثال في البحث العلمي من خلال يعني النشر في مجلات علميه يعني معروفه ومرموقه مثل نيتشر لينشر مثلا عدد معين يحصل على جرانت او تمويل لمشاريع بحثيه من الجامعه. فهذه المحفزات يعني ساعدت على خلق الثقافة دي ونشرها وأيضا تشجيع أعضاء التدريس الباحثين المتميزين.
These are one of the labs that we are developing. I'll give you an example. Proton is a company that developed car in Malaysia. They are the first Malaysian car. I think Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad started this company, I think about 25 years ago. And we are, this is Mahathir. This is Mahathir, yeah, it's a very short guy. And this is Managing Director Zainal Abidin. And this is Managing Director, and then this is me. So we started UTM Proton Chair on Automotive Technology. That was about 3 years ago. And we started what we call Proton Technology Advisory Council. And with this, we have about 40 PhD students among Proton researchers registering with UTM, and their projects is Proton projects. Their labs is Proton labs. It's not our labs. They come to our lab from time to time, but they work at where they are working. And these are examples of projects. This is the new hybrid car that they have started, and the car is real car. It's not hypothetical car.
طيب هو طبعا ذكر على الشراكة الفاعلة بين جامعة ماليزيا للتكنولوجيا وشركة بروتون، شركة متخصصة في صناعة السيارات. طبعا هذه الشركة بدأت بمبادرة من مهاتير محمد، والآن الشركة بتصنع سيارات في ماليزيا. أيضا من الاستفادة بين الشراكة الفاعلة بين الشركة والجامعة إنه المراكز البحثية في الشركة هناك أكثر من 10 طلاب دكتوراه يعملون في المراكز البحثية في شركة بروتون، بالإضافة إلى المراكز البحثية في الجامعة نفسها.
And we have also Proton Technology Advisory. So these are the people sitting in that Proton Advisory. Yes? So this is from Cambridge. He is head of mechanical engineering from Cambridge University. Curtis Carlson is advisor to Obama on innovation. He's from Stanford. And Ricardo Botas is my counterpart at Imperial College. And Professor Osamu Yagi. I'm chairing this council. So what I'm doing, I am giving direction to Proton, what kind of technology they want to develop to acquire. So this is very high profile projects. And we have 10 such projects.
طبعا الدكتور زيني هو يرأس مجلس استشاري شكلته الشركة، شركة بروتون لتصنيع السيارات، مجلس الاستشاري للتقنية للجامعة، في متخصصين طبعا من مختلفة بالإضافة إلى رجال أعمال ومتخصصين في تقنيات تصنيع السيارات، وهو يرأس الآن هذا المجلس.
And this is our previous meeting. So we meet in Kuala Lumpur sometime at Norwich. This is Lotus. It's owned by Proton. If you want to buy a sports car, please buy Lotus. It's a Malaysian car. So these are the committee that discussing about this technology. And this is me, the real me. Yeah. So driving Lotus, and we are starting new projects now. We want to use palm oil in Rolls-Royce engines. So we work together with Professor Nick Collins from Cambridge University with this lady. She's he's a professor at Cambridge. She was at MIT originally. So this is what we are doing. Yeah? So how we integrate, and the projects are PhD student projects that we are having in UTM. Yeah?
طبعا الميزه في الشراكه يعني بين الجامعه والصناعه في تجربه شركه بروتون انه اتاح الفرصه لطلاب الدكتوراه انه مشاريع تخرجهم او مشاريع بحث التخرج يكون في تقنيات بتخدم في تصنيع السيارات اللي بتصنعها الشركه. فهم افادوا طلاب الجامعه واعضاء تدريس لانه في معامل بحثيه فتحت للجامعه في المصنع في الشركه نفسها، بالاضافه الى المعامل البحثيه اللي في الجامعه، بالاضافه الى برضه بيقول خلق لفرص عمل لخريجي الجامعه للعمل في نفس الشركه برضه.
And we started new project with Imperial College. This is about energy future. It's not future energy, but energy future. I'm working with Ricardo and Nigel Brandon. So I'm going to be visiting professor. This year I'm visiting professor at MIT, but next year will be at Imperial College. The project is very simple. Can we use leaves from trees to store energy? So instead of allowing tree to grow and wastage a lot of energy and then we have to cut the trees because it grow too fast, we can store the energy and then we plug in so you can get energy from it, from trees. So that is ideal. I don't know whether it is realistic or not, but this is what we are discussing with them.
طبعا هو الان استاذ زائر في معهد MIT في بوسطن، والسنه القادمه سيكون استاذ زائر في امبريال كوليدج. والدكتور زيني يعني اللي يقرا السيره الذاتيه هو مع انشغاله في اعمال اداره الجامعه الا دائما بيحاول يحقق التوازن بين انه هو اكاديمي في بحث العلميه والتطوير وارتباطه بالابحاث التطبيقيه اللي تخدم في الصناعه، وعندهم مشروع رائد مع جامعه امبريال كوليدج كيف يمكن يعني نظريته كيف يمكن الاستفاده من توليد الطاقه من الاشجار.
Finally, I want to show you
something
very important. I think I have to skip few slides. This is recently, a week ago, real picture. These are rubbish, and these are people who are praying next to it, and these are people sleep next to it. And this is, and when you look at it, you don't believe that this is Makkah al-Mukarramah. Yeah? And people feel very easily throwing everything. And I was traveling by foot from Mina to Makkah. Yeah, it's about 10 kilometers, but I'm still healthy, so I like that. So my wife also working with me. And throughout, you can see all this. And one day, after Talbiyah and whatnot, someone drink Pepsi and then throw it in front of me. I said, this is haram. I said, you make the holy land dirty. He said, no one tell me about this. Yeah, this is not haram. Haram is when I commit adultery, when I'm not praying and something like that. When I'm throwing rubbish, it's nothing. It's nothing, no fatwa saying that it is haram. So I can throw everything. So this is big thing. Because Haji is about cleanliness. It's about spiritual purity. If you are not physically clean, how can you spiritually and mentally clean? So this is something that we have to teach. So I propose to Qura for us to have service learning programs. I can give credit to my students. You can give credit to your student if you like, new academic way of doing things. Experiential learning, how to solve this problem. Yeah? Let students think. Let them solve the problem. And many things happening in my university, I don't have to think a single second. Why? Because I allow my student to think about it. And student can come up with various kind of options because they don't know the rules. That's number one. They don't know the philosophy and the theory. and they just think out of nothing. And this is the best way to learn. And then we can educate them. This is the way to think and whatnot. So I think through this initiative, we can do a lot of things. One way, we can have social entrepreneurships. People come here and collect rubbish willingly. And rubbish is business for them. That is one option. Second, we give incentive. Those countries that send Hujjaj this year who are not causing problem, they will get extra 5,000 next year, something like that. Those countries are not careful with their people and they are making Makkah dirty, we cut 20,000 from their quota next year. So indirectly, they must make sure that this will be clean. And no one will throw rubbish because suddenly the police of Saudi Arabia pick up them and then one person -1 next year. So indirectly, this will become very innovative way to solve it. If you have trash like this, people are not willing to put the rubbish to the trash bin. Why? Because it's so difficult to open it and they throw it. So what they do, they just dump it there. Yeah, you can see that this is all empty. Empty. You can check because for them this is the work of the cleaners, not the work of the Hujjaj or people who are performing Hajj. So let's think very practical thing that we can solve your problem, of course, at the same time make our holy city clean. I think this is your, sorry.
No, you want to translate after?
No, you translate.
اوكي. طبعا هو يعني بيعلق على ملاحظه كانت في اثناء تاديته لفريضه الحج، ان الحاج يلبي ويكبر ويرمي القاذورات. طبعا هو بيتكلم انه في اشياء لها علاقه بالمفاهيم وفهم الدين مثل النظافه في الروح والجسد والى اخره، لكن بيقول قد تكون هذه الملاحظات هي فرصة. هو طبعا بيقترح انه يكون في عمل مشترك بين جامعة UTM وجامعة القرى لما يسمى بالسيرفيس ليرنينج، يعني التعليم من خلال تقديم الخدمات لطلاب الجامعة للمجتمع. وفي جامعتهم المبادرة هذه بدأت لبعض الملاحظات اللي موجودة ذكرها كان في المدينة الجامعية أو في مدينة كوالالمبور، والطلاب ساهموا في تقديم خدمات لحل هذه المشاكل ومعالجتها، ويمنح الطالب يعني درجة، وأيضا يمنح ساعات يعني ساعات في المواد في الجدول الدراسي لتقديم الخدمات. منها يرتبط الطالب ويمنح الفرصة للتفكير لوضع حلول لبعض هذه الإشكاليات. ومقترح أنه يكون في مشروع مشترك بين جامعة القرى وجامعة ماليزيا للتقنية للمساهمة في وضع حلول. قد تكون حلول تقنية، وذكر أيضا قد تكون حلول توعوية، يعني الطالب يكون تخصص في النواحي الاجتماعية أو الشرعية، يمكن دوره يكون خدماته اللي يقدمها في توعية الحجاج، ومعتبرين بأنه مهم النظافة الروحية في الحج، وأيضا النظافة أقدس بقعة على وجه الأرض وهي مكة المكرمة.
In many places in the world, people have volunteers. I strongly believe that by next year, probably Qura and UTM can propose to the government of both countries. We can create volunteers, 2 hours a day per jama'ah. And your work, one of them, is to make sure that this is clean around that area. Mm-hmm. So 2 hours within 30 days or 40 days you are here, you spend 2 hours. If you have that practical experience cleaning Makkah, number one, you feel proud because you are cleaning the holy city, the holy land. That's number one. Number two, if you don't do that 2 hours, it's nothing. Most of our people now, especially Malaysians, after breakfast they go to sleep. Yeah, sleep instead of sleep from 8 to 11 o'clock. Why not they do some work that can clean the whole thing? And this is great rewards, I think, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
هو طبعا يؤكد على المبادرة اللي ذكرتها في بداية اللقاء، مبادرة معالي مدير الجامعة الاستفادة من تواجد المتخصصين والعلماء في مكة المكرمة أثناء فريضة الحج. فهو بيذكر أنه بعد ما يفطروا الصباح عندهم يمكن 6 ساعات لين أذان الظهر، الحجاج يعني ما عندهم أنشطة أخرى بيقوموا بها، لكن قد يستفاد من وجود العلماء المتخصصين. طبعا يذكر هو جامعته أو أي جامعة أخرى، أكاديميين متخصصين أو حتى طلاب بالجامعات، كيف ممكن يعملوا على مشاريع بحثية مشتركة، تقديم خدمات للمجتمع، وذكر 4-5 مجالات يعني أو أنماط مختلفة للشراكة الفاعلة.
This is my third Hajj. I came here the first one 10 years ago, and then after 5 years I came back, and this is my third one. And I came to Makkah for almost every Ramadan except this Ramadan. The same thing happened, no progress. So we need new academia to solve this problem.
في حاجات politically incorrect فما كان translate. ايوه مفهومه خلاص.
Okay, خلاص. I mean, it's a lot of people, but the rate of collecting the rubbish and throwing the rubbish is similar. So that's a problem. It's not the problem of the local authority of Makkah al-Mukarramah. It's the people who are coming there. They need to be educated, and one way to educate them is by asking them.
تمام. طبعا هو بذكر انه هذه من سلوكيات الحجاج اللي نحن نقدر نقدمه، انه كيف نحل هذه الاشكاليه. سواء يعني ذكر هو بعض الخدمات، حتى بيتكلم عن اندستريال PhD، يعني بعضها في التقنيه، بعضها في العمل التطوعي، في العمل الخيري، في نشر الثقافه والفكر والتوعيه باهميه نظافه الاماكن المقدسه.
Okay, finally I want to everyone knows about this, and this is your blue ocean. This is a blue ocean for Qura. Yeah, so you don't have to have blue ocean against MIT or Hong Kong University. Your blue ocean is Masjid al-Haram. This is Baitullah. So please benefit from this, and I'll be able to help if you need my assistance. And inshallah we come to Malaysia. Finally, this is important. I mentioned about soul of higher education. There is a verse in Surah Ibrahim about the trees and the roots. We need very deep roots. Key amal indicators can be tangible and intangible. So the intangible is teamwork, ukhuwah, knowledge, culture, integrity, passion, entrepreneurship, taqwa, amal salih. This is very important. So whenever we develop university, the one that I mentioned earlier, key amal indicators in my earlier presentations, means we are looking at the tangible guys, tangible key performance indicators. Yeah, which is publication, research, postgraduate program, education, intellectual property, research, university compliance, and whatnot. That can make us a world-class university, yes. But this is also important, and this is more important, I think. This is to develop culture, this is where barakah will come, this is synergy, and this is, inshallah, we are going to Jannah, as what hadith that I mentioned earlier.
Okay. That's not easy to translate, but I will try my best. وطبعا ذكر انه يعني الجامعه هذه ربنا اكرمها بوجودها في مكه المكرمه، وهذه ميزه تنافسيه لهذه الجامعه. فهو طبعا يقول الجامعه لو استفادت من هذه التنافسيه سواء في البحث العلمي والتعليم او جميع النقاط اللي ذكرها هو في آلية التعليم وتطوير المنهجيه وتقديم الخدمات وتواصل الطلاب مع الصناعه والمجتمع والقطاعات المختلفة. احنا عندنا يعني بيئة خصبة، بيئة الحج، وهذه فرصة ذهبية لنا، وهذه أعطت لنا البلو أوشن استراتيجي أو استراتيجية إنه التركيز على الميزة التنافسية التي أعطيت لهذه الجامعة سواء في التدريس أو البحث العلمي أو الابتكار. طبعا هو ذكر إنه يعني بعد ما أخاضوا هذه التجربة الآن بيفكر في مؤشرات لقياس النجاح والتطور في الجامعات والتغيير مرتبط ب يعني بعض المعايير الدينية والأخلاقية. وطبعا هو مسميها مؤشرات القياس للأمل أو أمل Key Performance Indicators. وحط معايير إضافية منها يعني البركة. هذا طبعا هو اجتهاد بيقول احنا لسه بيعملوا عليه، انه في بعض المعايير اللي انها تصنف الجامعات العالمية اللي موجودة فوق، مثل البحث العلمي والنشر في مجلات يعني علمية مرموقة، والتطوير في العملية التعليمية، ونسبة أعضاء التدريس. هذه أشياء يعني ممكن قياسها وتطوير الملكية الفكرية لكن هناك ثقافة وفكر، باعتبار احنا يعني جامعات مسلمة وتنتمي إلى المجتمعات الإسلامية، فأعتقد هو يعتقد أنه نحتاج أنه تكون هناك معايير إضافية إلى المعايير العالمية المعروفة في تطوير الجامعات في التدريس والبحث العلمي والابتكار. تربط موضوع خلق الثقافة والتواصل وريادة الأعمال والتقوى والأمل، وذكر كمان البركة للوصول إلى الغاية السامية من وجودنا في هذه الدنيا إلى وهي الجنة. شكرا جزيلا لكم. احنا بس عشان جدول يعني معالي الدكتور director has to leave, so if you allow he will honor you and then we can open the floor for discussion and questions. معالي المدير الجامعة يكلم بروفيسور زيني.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد عليه أفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم. بداية كل عام وأنتم بخير بمناسبة انتهاء حج هذا العام. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يتقبل حج الحاجين وصيام الصائمين، إنه على ذلك قدير. وأسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن تكون جميع أيامنا خير وبركة. Professor Zainal, first of all I would like to thank you for this fruitful speech you gave this morning, and to be honest it was very fantastic lecture, and we gave concrete evidence that from now we don't allow the scholars to just read and sleep. Because this university, as a holy university in this holy country, in this holy city, this is from Allah that gave us this position. And to be honest, we are very happy to receive such scholars, our brothers, when they are performing the holy mission, I mean the Hajj here or the Umrah. And I, as a rector here to this university, I insist, me and our colleagues here, to receive the scholars and to utilize the time they're spending here. And to be honest, I do remember when I was in England during the 90s, most of our friends from Malaysia, and at that time they usually speak about the mission of Professor Mahathir, which is how they reached the goal by the year of 2020. And when I saw the effort that being put in this university that guided by Brother Zainal, suddenly I remember that vision. To be honest, it was a holy vision as well. Thank you again, and I wish you a safe trip back home, and hoping to see you sometime إن شاء الله. أيها الأخوة، إحنا سعداء طبعا باستقبال هذا الأخ الكريم في مكة المكرمة، المدينة المقدسة، لأداء الركن الخامس الحج. والشخص هذا جاني قبل الحج واجتمع معايا وقال لي كلمة كبيرة جدا، قال يعني أنتم الله سبحانه وتعالى أكرمكم بوجود هذه الجامعة في هذه المدينة المقدسة اللي يزوروها علماء كثير من أنحاء العالم، وهؤلاء العلماء يأتون إلى هنا بس فقط لقراءة القرآن والصلاة والنوم، ما تستفيدوا منهم. فقلت له إن شاء الله هذه فكرة راح نطبقها، وهذه أول الغيث زي ما يقولوا، وإن شاء الله بإذن الله راح نستفيد من كل العلماء أخواننا المسلمين اللي بيزوروا مكة لإعطاء بعض المحاضرات وورش العمل في جامعة أم القرى. شكرا جزيلا وأتمنى لكم التوفيق. والآن أظن نبغى نقدم حاجة للبروفيسور. شكرا على المترجم. شكرا. السلام عليكم.
الآن نفتح المجال للأسئلة والمداخلات. There is a question about how UTM has utilized the new media to accomplish its mission strategy. أي هو طبعا السؤال كيف لجامعة ماليزيا للتقنية وهي من أقدم الجامعات تجربتها في التعامل والتفاعل مع الإعلام الجديد لتحقيق استراتيجيتها ورؤيتها.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think that is typical for many universities to use electronic media. If you look into my slides, I mentioned about 4G. We were the first university, or probably the first place in Malaysia where we use 4G. It's not 3G. What you have here is 3G. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4G means very high speed, and the question is how we can allow students to use it. So that is the innovation. We give them free for the first 3,000 gigabytes utilization per month, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. Free. Mm-hmm. If you exceed that, you have to pay. Yeah, because when the speed is very high, students tend to use for downloading songs and then movies and whatnot. So we allow them to do that, but you have to pay your own. So the question is access to the facilities. That's number one. Number two, there's the technology part. Number two, I think this is common for many other universities. We have our e-learning programs. So students can have all lecture notes are all in e-learnings. There is lectures by staff, some of them are recorded and e-learning. But what I'm going to highlight is the English learning online, or we call it MyLine. If you go to internet, you write MYL, big capital INE, MyLine. My is Malaysia, learning in English online, MyLine. Yeah? So this is the biggest English portal in the country, and it is used by around 500,000 students, not only UTM students, but all students from other public universities are using MyLine to learn English. And MyLine is very expensive. We require 12 permanent staff manning the programs on daily 24 hours basis. It's very expensive. At night, if you want to speak English and someone will correct you, it is online. Yeah, so this is something big, and we want to sell them to many other universities in the world. Therefore, in December, we are going to partner with a company based at Oxfordshire, to market this. Yeah, so this is big, and this is my line. Not only to, this is our own technology. We develop them, our own. It's not buying from shelf. So this is what we are trying to do, and students helping us as well. Students get money, job creation projects to work into different packages of that, and then they get money out of it. They use it, they learn it, and at the same time we can generate income out of it. Yeah.
What about the utilization of social media?
Social media is also widely utilized at the moment, but I think this is everywhere.
Yeah. اوكي. طبعا ذكر 4 نقاط. ذكر انه الجامعه تتيح تقنيه الجيل الرابع ما يسمى بالفور جي للطلاب مجانا لتوفير سرعه عاليه للدخول على الانترنت عموما والتقنيات الحديثه. ايضا طوروا تقنيه لتعليم اللغه الانجليزيه من خلال التعليم الالكتروني، والآن هم بيتعاونوا مع جامعة أكسفورد مع شركة لتحويل هذا المنتج اللي صدر من الجامعة من خلال أبحاث إلى يعني يصدر إلى السوق عن طريق تعاون مع شركة في جامعة أكسفورد. وذكر أن هذه التقنية حاليا في ماليزيا يستخدمها أكثر من نصف مليون طالب لتعليم اللغة الإنجليزية على مستوى ماليزيا. طبعا ذكر في الآخر أن الشبكات أو الإعلام الجديدة وشبكات التواصل الاجتماعي هذه يعني طبيعيا مثل ما أن الجامعات في العالم تسخرها، فجامعة ماليزيا التقنية تقوم بتسخير هذه التقنية لخدمة أعمالها وتحقيق رؤيتها.
Okay, this is 4G, yeah? This is venue, campus, internet, incubators, brands, Wi-Fi, 4G internets. Yeah, it's not 3G internets. Very fast. Yeah. And student tends to download music and
طبعا
films.
تقنية الجيل الرابع هذه سريعة جدا في الانترنت. الطلاب يستخدموها لتحميل الملفات، فتعطى في الفترة الأولى مجانا، بعد كده بتكون برسوم، ليس عشان الحجر على الطلاب ولكن عشان الطلاب يسخروها في الاستخدامات المهمة للعملية التعليمية والبحث العلمي. هذه أحد برامج تحقيق توفير البيئة المحفزة للتعليم والبحث العلمي في الجامعة، تسخير التقنية.
For your information, we paid nothing for 4G. What happened? This is a bit creativity. A company developed 4G, wanted to try the 4G technology. So I volunteered university to be a test bed. And in addition, for 3 gigabytes of facilities, students have to pay to the company. So it means that I paid 0 for the investment on 4G facilities. Yeah, otherwise, quite costly. It's about 20-30 million Saudi riyal.
تمام. طبعا انه هي شركه كانت تبغى تجرب التقنيه هذه، هو اللي عمله فقط انه فتح الباب، قال لهم الجامعه بين يدكم، تعالوا جربوا في الجامعة هنا، وأعطى الخدمة لكل الطلاب وخدم الشركة لتجربة هذه التقنية. فتواصل مع الصناعة وخدم طلاب الجامعة وضع التدريس. تفضل دكتور هاني غازي فايس ريكتور.
First of all, I would like to thank Professor Zaini for such a comprehensive presentation about the development of the higher education and your experience in developing the UTM from the classical university to be one of the 6th university in Asia regarding the research university. Your effort regarding that clear from the presentation. But my question to Professor Zaini is that what are the main obstacles that you're facing to transfer the UTM from classical university to the research university?
Oh, That's the most difficult question. I think the most
Because
important
we
is
would like
mindset.
to gain some experience to do that,
Yeah.
because we are planning to do such a thing.
The first one is mindset. Therefore, I allow those who are not able to run with us to leave. We can make sure that you can be transferred to other universities that of your choice. Yeah, so we don't want to force everyone. Otherwise, you get heart attack or high blood pressure, whatever. So we tell them this is what we are trying to do, and this is the way forward. And this is not the idea of one person. This is after Shura. There's a lot of Shura. And every year, we have at least about 10 Shura. 10 Shura mean outside normal meetings. This is open meetings. This is discussing about something that it is not on agenda. So it is discussing about the future, and we come with no preparation at all. 3 days, we go somewhere, we pray together, we Salatul, we started early in the morning, 4 o'clock, we Subuh, in Fajar is 6 o'clock in Malaysia. So we Qiyam, and then after that, 8 o'clock, 8:30, we start discussing about the future of the university. So every year we do that at least 10 times a year. Sometimes we stay overnight, sometimes. So when we know each other very well, and we know the direction, and there is no suspicious among us, and this is very important, and every single items is to be assigned to someone, and he or she must be committed to it. And when she's committed, let's do it. So I don't micromanage. Therefore, I can travel to Boston. I was in United States 3 weeks in September, and then 3 weeks for Hajj, blah, blah, blah. But the running of the university is not day to day on my schedule. I only look into the major parameters. The KIs, the key amal indicators, that's my management dashboard. Not day to day, whether you want holiday, I want to approve your holiday or not. You want this budget, 20,000, 30,000, it's not my business. So I empower my staff, my vice rectors to do the work, and this is your budget, and this is the procedures, and this is, let's do it. And the mindset is important. And I mentioned to you, we have, our university is very strange university. We have our board of directors. These are people outside university. There are people from Ministry of Higher Education, from Ministry of Treasury, from industry, blah, blah, blah. There's about 10 of them. So I have to get through them of all major initiatives, budget for next year, blah, blah, blah. They are very easy to deal with because these people are very open-minded and they are looking at big pictures. But the problem is people underneath, below me, one layer below me. I have 4 deputy rectors. I have in charge of human resource, in charge of finance, people like this. So they must synchronize with my ideas. So 15 of them in that, and we meet every week. Every week without miss, we meet. Otherwise, we meet online. So this is the way forward. And below that, there are deans, director of institute. All in is about 180 of them. So I meet them 10 times a year. Talk heart to heart. Yeah, and then please go with me. If you don't want to go with me, please leave. Or tell me what's wrong with ideas. I tell you in the past, when I mentioned about the future, to turn around university, half of them disagree with me. Half of them. When I said that we want to become a research-focused, global-centric university, half of them disagree. Why? Because they are afraid. They cannot compete. They cannot perform. And the way forward is to brainstorm. A lot of discussion. I do a lot of training rather than a lot of managing at the moment. So if you look into my slides, I have probably I have to give 20 20 training programs for senior management team every year about new academia, about job creation, everything. So this is to be discussed, and this is to be implemented together. So I'm more coaching rather than managing university. Yeah, I don't do micromanage. So mainly people, when they come to me, they are coming with big decision whether we want 100 or 200 kind of marks rather than whether this small thing to be discussed with you. So I free myself with all that. So whenever they come to me, they are talking about the strategy and whatnot. So I position myself at that level. Yeah, so alhamdulillah, things work very well. And there is no hard feeling. If I criticize you, criticize me, that's it, halas. That's it. And then finish. Then we start new. So some people, they thought that they are superb. And one good thing about me is that I was a graduate of UTM, and most of my professors are there managing university, and they are reporting to me. They were my teacher 30 years ago. They taught me chemistry, taught me physics, taught me many things. If they disagree with me, I will remind them, when I was your student, you always mention, think forward, think big, blah, blah, blah. Why not you think big? So, if they are not hardworking, I will screw them that way. When I was a student, I still remember you scold me in front of others because I came late to class. So now I'm scolding you. Why you come late to this meeting? So something like that. So it's so easy.
طبعا هو ذكر انه يعني انا حلخص شوي عشان الوقت، انه المعوقات للتحول في الجامعه من ما كانت عليه الى الجامعه التي وصلت اليه، الوضع الجديد. ذكر انه يعني من اهم يعني المعوقات عمليه ما يسمى يعني المايند سيت او الفكر نفسه. كيف تغير الفكر في الجامعه على جميع المستويات، يعني من الاداره العليا الى الموظفين الاداريين، ضايع تدريس، طلاب، اداريين الى اخره. فتغيير الفكر مهم جدا، وعشان يعملوا على الموضوع ده هم عملوا اتخذوا مبدأ يعني الشورى من خلال لقاءات مفتوحة مع أعضاء التدريس، مع العمداء أو مدراء الإدارات. ذكر هو العمداء تقريبا بيجتمع معهم 10 مرات في السنة في لقاء مفتوح، والإداريين مسؤول المالية والموارد البشرية والآخرة يجتمع معهم أسبوعيا، وحتى لما ما يكون موجود خارج هذا بيجتمع عن طريق النت مع بعض لإيجاد التواصل. وهو كإدارة يعني طريقته الشخصية في الإدارة هو يعمل بالإدارة بالتفويض، فالمايكرو مانجمنت أو الإدارة التفصيلية ما يخش فيها تفاصيل هذه، فلان طالع إجازة، فلان مش عارف مين. هو يفوض وكلاء الجامعة ويفوض العمداء والمديرين بالهذا، وهو يستخدم مؤشرات قياس الأداء لمتابعة ما يحدث في الجامعة من خلال لوحة التحكم في الجامعة أو ما سماها بالداشبورد، اللي تعطي له إحصائيات ماذا يحدث في الجامعة من خلال المؤشرات اللي وضعت والمعايير لقياس ماذا يحدث في الجامعة، ويترك التفاصيل والآليات بعد طبعا تغيير الفكر والمايند سيت والثقافة إلى الإدارات المختلفة لتنفيذها. طبعا يعني هو ذكر يعني مثال حي إنه هو كان أحد طلاب هذه الجامعة، بعض أعضاء التدريس الموجودين هم درسوه في مرحلة البكالوريوس، فكان لما يريد أن يحدث تغيير يسألوه لماذا تعمل كذا أو يعترضوا، يقول لهم أنتم علمتوني لما كنت طالب في الجامعة هذه أن أفكر خارج الصندوق وأنا أبتكر وأبدع، وهذا ما أقوم به. وأيضا أحيانا يحضروا اجتماعات متأخرة، فيقول لهم أنا لما كنت طالب